working on a little unit. It's up in the air, right next to a fence, so it's awkward to work on. It's had a leak on the evaporator, which we've brazed up. It's had some builders in there that lent on the pipe, and it made a leak on the manifold in the evaporator, which we've brazed up, and it's been on leak test for a while with some nitrogen in it. But when we looked at it previously, we noticed this valve was all rusty. The stem's all rusty because someone's lost the cap, and it's got quite a pitting in there, so it wants changing. And the discharge valve's all oily, so we're going to change the both of them today, get it vacuumed, leak checked and all that, and get it up and running, ready for the summer. Right, got our new valves, some stubs brazed into them. That was 5/8 by 1.25 inch, and that one's actually 5/8 by inch, so you have to be careful with these valves, the Rotalocks. It's not just the pipe size, you have to get the thread size as well. So this is probably off a, I don't know, maybe it's probably a different make compressor. That might be a suction valve, and this might have been a discharge valve off or something. That's where we're working. Right, got the discharge valve brazed in. Just gone around with the mirror, it looks okay. Got that propped up on my pipe cutter. So we're going to have to put a new gasket in that valve, compressor stub rather. And same with the suction one. We'll probably get the brush on there and try and clean the threads up because that was a bit tight to undo. We've got to braze that one in now. Right, just got to get these nipped up, and the pressure switch connections on both of them nipped up, leak checked, vacuumed. The guy's not turned up yet, so we need him to let us in so we can get some electric to run the vac pump. But it's a restaurant takeaway place, so they work late and they don't get up too early in the morning, although it's probably getting on towards midday now. But hopefully it'll be along here soon. Right, got the valves done up. Just got to go around with some leak spray, checking for leaks and check our braze joints. Generally, if a braze joint looks okay, it's going to be leak free, but we'll go around them anyway. I've put a bit of galvanising paint on there. Hopefully they'll probably last the life of the machine now. It only runs a month or two in the summer, so it probably does more harm sitting than it does running. In fact, I put a fan motor on it a few years back, and I think the bearings have gone rusty in it where it had just been sat for so long. Anyway, getting there. I'm going to check the oil. The oil looks a bit low. If it's been run short, it might have pushed all the oil out of discharge, because it was a bit oily when we took that off. There's a little pool of oil in the bottom of the connection. Right, we've pressure tested it, leak tested it, vacuumed it, and then dumped 1 and a bit kilos in, so let's see what it does. Sounds a bit buzzy, but they are a bit noisy. There's a load of oil in there, so yeah, that might take a little while for the oil to come back round. For about 10-15 minutes, and we're just getting some oil showing up in the sight glass. Right, we were getting compressor was running very cold, the body of it, the sump was cold, and normally they get a bit of heat in them in the base, where the hot gas pipe loops around in the oil, and that was still cold. The sight glass looked a bit odd, so we've come in here and checked the expansion valve, and these factory setting on these originally, way back when they were chrome plated, was all the way out and 3.5 turns in. The new ones, which are brass coloured with a stainless body, that doesn't quite work. One of them might be 3 turns in, another one might be 2.8 or whatever to get to the factory setting, so you can't really do that. But anyway, what we've done, it gets you in the ballpark, is we wound it out and it only went out 1.25 turns, 1 3/8 of a turn or something. So somebody wound it almost all the way fully open. So we've then wound it all the way in, all the way back out, just to make sure it all went in and out all right. You weren't doing anything odd, because you normally got about 5 turns, I think, between in and out, all the way out, and then we've gone 3.5 turns back in. But it's running about 8 degrees on here, and the evaporating temp is roughly about -2, according to the pressure that I'm taking at the compressor. So it could be a bit different, because we could have a bit of a loss in the pipe work, but it's in the ballpark. I've tweaked that open a bit, and that started diving down to about 2 degrees. So we're going to leave it where I had it originally. I think it's near enough. We're just getting a bit of ice on here now. I'd rather have it a little bit. It's actually quite a short pipe, but it's just down the wall here. So, and it's actually the compressor's below the evaporator. So the last thing we want to do is have liquid in here, because it's just going to pour straight into the sump. Yeah, it's running about 7 degrees, 6.9. And like I say, on the gauge it was running about 22 psi, somewhere like that, which is roughly about -2, I think. For this, it's on drop-in for R12. So I think we're going to leave that where it is. It's a bit cold outside for the moment, because they're only running in the summer. I've had to put a sack over the condenser to get a bit of heat into it. Oh, that's gone a bit better now. I've shut that valve down, because that's the other thing you get, is if that's dumping liquid in, there's no heat in the suction, because it's not really doing anything. It's just firing straight through the evaporator, so you don't get any heat in the condenser if you've got a lot of liquid coming back. Anyway, I think we're going to call that done. Right, the sump on the compressor feels warm now, and we haven't got all that foam in the oil which we had before, which is an indication it's getting liquid coming back. The sight glass is full.